Hi guys, welcome to my channel, where we use gentle movement sessions to build strength, improve coordination, and increase mobility so that you move better and feel stronger. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a Feldenkrais session. So grab a mat, lie down on your back, and let's get started. Today, we're doing a lesson called Differentiation of Parts of Breathing, where we use up-down or seesaw breathing in various positions to identify which muscles are holding on to tension, and through this breathing pattern, allow them to release. By the end of today's session, you should notice you have more efficient breathing and a greater capacity to take in and expel air. Start by lying on your back with your legs long and your arms resting beside you. And just notice which parts of your torso move when you breathe. Do your ribs expand and deflate as you breathe in and out? Or is it your stomach that moves, or both? Or is it just your right side or your left side of your body that moves to allow air in and out? Notice whether your breathing feels deep or shallow, or whether it's fast or slow, or whether it feels laboured, or whether it feels easy to breathe. Then bend both of your knees so your feet are flat on the floor and your knees are pointing to the ceiling. And notice how this changes the way your back contacts the floor and also the way you breathe. Now as you breathe in and out, make your rib cage be the part of your torso that moves. So as you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand, and as you breathe out, feel the rib cage deflate. And can you make it so the rib cage expands not just in front of you, but to the sides of your ribs? And also the back of your ribs. So by breathing in, your mid-back and upper back aren't arching off the floor for the rib cage to expand. Your ribs expand forwards, backwards, and to the side as you breathe in, and then they deflate. Now rest with your legs long. And notice whether anything's changed about the way you lie here and the way you breathe. Bend your knees again. And do that same movement through the ribs, expanding your ribs as you breathe in. But this time, hold your breath, deflate your ribs, and then expand them. So you're doing the movements of breathing in and out, but you're holding your breath as your rib cage expands and then deflates. And feel that as you do this, because your lungs are still full of air, that there's a maneuvering up of your diaphragm, then down of your diaphragm. That also makes movement occur through your stomach. So as your ribs expand, your stomach draws in. As your ribs deflate, your stomach pops out. When you need to breathe, rest and breathe. And repeat by breathing in, holding the breath, and doing the rib movements as though you're breathing in and out, until you need to breathe again. Then rest with your knees bent. Now place your hands on your stomach so your fingertips touch one another over your navel, with your elbows out to the side. Again, breathe in through the ribs and feel your stomach draw in. As you breathe out and your ribs deflate, push your belly out so your fingertips separate from one another. Then breathe in, drawing your stomach in, expanding the ribs, and again breathing out, popping the belly out. So now your torso moves up through your ribs, down through your stomach, then out through the stomach, down through your ribs, like a seesaw. Feel your diaphragm lift as you breathe in, then lower as you breathe out. Remember to expand your ribs in all 4 directions as you breathe in, and avoid arching your back to expand your belly as you breathe out. Just do 1 more breath in and then out, then rest with your legs long. Notice whether the shape of your back has changed on the floor and whether you're breathing any differently. Then bend both of your knees again, and again place your hands on your stomach with your fingertips touching. Breathe in so your ribs expand and your stomach draws in. Then hold your breath and do that seesaw movement through your torso, where your stomach pops out, your stomach draws in, your ribs draw down as your stomach pops out, your ribs expand as your stomach draws in. Once you need to breathe, stop and rest. Have a breath. Then once again, breathe in to expand your ribs. Hold the breath. So with the lungs full of air, you're still performing this seesaw movement, feeling your diaphragm lower and lift as the stomach pops out and the stomach draws in, and as the ribs deflate and the ribs expand. Rest. Breathe. And then 1 more time. Hold the breath and seesaw the torso. Then let that go. Rest with your legs long and just notice where your breath travels to through your body now. So far, you've breathed in as you expand your rib cage and out as you expand your belly. Now, as you perform this seesaw movement through your ribs and stomach, can you breathe in and out more slowly than the movement through your torso? So as you breathe in, your ribs expand and deflate, and as you breathe out, your ribs expand and deflate. And likewise, as you breathe in, your stomach draws in and pushes out, and as you breathe out, your stomach draws in and pushes out. If you find this too difficult to coordinate, just keep trying. The point is not getting it right, but to try and differentiate the habitual movements through your torso from your lungs just taking in air and expelling air. Then stop that and roll onto your belly with your arms up around your head and your legs long, your forehead resting on the floor. In this position now, perform that seesaw breath where you breathe in to expand your rib cage and draw your stomach in, and then you breathe out to push your belly out, deflating your rib cage. And then again breathing in and breathing out. And notice whether you feel this movement traveling directly through your torso, through your back, and then directly down through the center of your stomach? Or is it slightly lopsided, the movement? Is there more movement happening through the right side of your body, the left side of your body, or diagonally? On one side in the upper part of your back, and on the opposite side of your belly. So now make this seesaw movement travel in a diagonal through your torso. Breathe in, expand your right side of your rib cage, drawing your left side of the stomach in. Breathing out, pop the left side of your belly out and contract your right rib cage. And again, breathing in, expand the right side of your ribs, pulling your stomach in on the left, and breathe out, push your belly out on the left, contracting through the right ribs. And keep that movement going, breathing in and breathing out. Feel what happens through your shoulder blade and through your leg and hip, your shoulder blade on the right and your leg and hip on the left, as your belly draws away from the floor and pushes out to the floor. Then switch sides. expanding your left side of the ribs to breathe in, and breathing out, pushing your right side of the belly out. As your left ribs expand, your right side of the belly draws in from the floor. As you breathe out, your right side of the belly presses out into the floor. Again, feel what happens through your shoulder and your opposite hip. As you expand one side and then expand diagonally down through the other. Then, once again, breathe in through the center of your body and breathe out. Press out through the center of your body. Does that feel more even now? Then rest and lie down on your right side with your right arm underneath your head, your knees bent, your feet in line with your bottom, and bring your left hand overhead and hold your right ear. Breathe in through the ribs so your stomach draws in, and then breathe out. Lift your head and stay there. Then do your seesaw breathing where you breathe into the ribs, drawing your stomach in, breathing out, pushing your belly out. Notice that as you breathe in and your stomach draws in, your head lowers. As you breathe out, your stomach pushes out and your head lifts. Feel that your hips also move as your ribs and armpit move, as your head lifts and lowers as a result of this seesaw breathing. Lower yourself down, rest, then switch sides. Lying on your left side with your left arm underneath your head, your right hand holds your left ear. You breathe out to lift your head up using your right arm. Then breathe in, draw the stomach in, feel the ribs expand. Breathe out, pop the belly out, feel the ribs deflate. And notice how your head lifts and lowers as a result of the rib cage movement, your stomach movement, and your pelvic movement. And notice that the reason your head has to lower as you breathe in is that your ribs expand and they can't stay bent as you breathe in. But then they can bend more easily as you breathe out and the left side of your stomach lets go. Then lower back down, lie down on your back and rest. Notice any changes in how you're breathing now, whether it's easier, deeper, or slower. Then lift yourself up onto your elbows so your chest is off the floor and you're looking at your legs, which are long. Breathe in, draw your stomach in and expand your ribs. Breathe out, expand the stomach and deflate the ribs. And feel what doing this weird seesaw movement makes move through your body in this particular position. Feel your shoulder blades move, what happens in your back, and how your feet might draw towards you and away from you, depending on whether you draw your stomach up or push it down. Lie back down on your back, rest for a moment. Then again, lift yourself back up onto your elbows, but this time, instead of looking at your feet, slowly let your head lower backwards so your chin lifts towards the ceiling and your ribs lengthen. Then again, do this seesaw breathing of breathing in, expanding the ribs, breathing out, pressing the belly out. Can you relax your jaw, your shoulders, your back, and your legs as you do this, so that your front becomes long, your muscles do not hold tension, so your neck can relax long and your diaphragm lets go. Let that go and rest on your back. And just notice the different shape your body makes on the floor now. Then slowly roll to your side and come up to your hands and knees. With your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, and lower the top of your head down in between your two hands. Then do your seesaw breathing in this position. And notice how your shoulder blades have to move up as you breathe in and down as you breathe out. As your ribs expand backwards as you breathe in, and then your bottom pushes out as your belly pushes down as you breathe out. So it's almost like your body's rocking slightly forwards and back with every breath in and out. Then come up onto your hands and knees again. Move your right knee slightly forwards of the left, so now your hips are askew. Then lower your head down between your two hands again, and then do your seesaw breathing. And with your knees slightly further forwards on the right, notice that it's your left side of your body that's lengthening more than your right side, because the right side is slightly more restricted with the knee further forwards. So you'll feel more expansion through the left ribs and more expansion through the stomach as you press out on the breath out. So this is a one-sided seesaw breathing, almost. Then come back up, switch which leg's in front, so the left knee is now forwards. You lower your head between your hands again. Again, you do the seesaw breathing, this time feeling how your right ribs are able to more easily expand, and your right stomach is more easily able to push out. Keep feeling that movement through your shoulder blades as your ribs expand behind you, and keep the weight of your body back over your thighs, not on your head. As your entire torso is involving itself in this seesaw movement of your diaphragm lifting and lowering as you breathe in and out. Just 2 more breaths. Then come up off your head onto your hands and knees, and then sit down on the floor with the soles of your feet touching and your knees resting out to the side. Then hug your left ribs with your right hand and your right ribs with your left hand. Look down towards your belly button. Breathe in. Expand the ribs and draw the stomach in. Breathe out. Press down through the abdomen. And do your seesaw breathing. Breathing up and down through the torso in this position. And notice that with your arms crossed around your waist like this, you're restricting movement through the front of your body and forcing the back of your body to expand through the ribs, but also to release down through the lower back. Feel that your breathing comes up towards your head and then presses down towards your sit bones. Then switch which arm's on top. So cross your left arm over your chest now first, then hug your left ribs with your right hand. Drop your chin to your chest, looking towards your belly button so your back bends slightly into a curved position, and do your seesaw breathing like this. And notice what the different way you've crossed your arm does to the way that you feel the movement traveling through your torso. Can it go directly up through the center of your torso and down through the center of your 2 sit bones? And just notice the different parts of you can feel moving now. Your shoulder blades, your 12 ribs either side, what's happening through your back muscles and your stomach muscles and your diaphragm. Then let that go, sit up, and then come up to standing. And as you stand here, Just notice the way you're breathing now and what impact this lesson has had to the way you feel your shoulder blades, your ribs, your spine, your diaphragm, your belly, and even your legs as you breathe in and out. And for the rest of the day, just monitor any differences in the way you breathe and any releasing of tension through your torso. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you had a great session. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.